so mean? Who taught you to be that cruel? Come on. YouTube? Who?
Oh, no.
No, he's not, honey. No, he's not bad, too.
I'm going to put my water on your amp because it's a lot more graceful to pick it up from here than to bend over.
Who's been over?
Should I? Should I?
All right. Let's pretend this never happened.
Okay.
Take two.
Okay, this guy walks up to the dulcimer player and he says, "Hey, is that a dobro?" And she says, Good evening, I'm Brad Becker, here to welcome you to Red Barn Radio, now in its 18th broadcast season. In fact, tonight is Red Barn Radio's 681st live concert performance. Something there. Tonight, Red Barn Radio presents the Michelle Canning Band. Michelle is originally from North Andover, Massachusetts, and she currently resides in Nashville, Tennessee. Michelle is known as one of the most energetic performers of bluegrass and country music, and is a first-rate banjo player and vocalist, as you will find out. Please welcome the Michelle Canning Band to the Red Barn stage.
Two sides stood divided, battle lines were drawn. One army was outnumbered, seemed all hope was gone. Goliath was a bully with armor and a sword. David had 5 stones and faith in the Lord. The odds were against him, David would not be denied. He took his best shot, then watched that giant die. When your back's against the wall, facing trouble 10 feet tall, you can run or you can fight. Take a stand for what is right. Armed with faith in God alone, guide the hand that holds a stone. Every day brings choices between what's right and wrong. We all face temptation, feel pressure to belong. Satan is the bully, itching for a fight, but we have a secret weapon on our side. When your back's against the wall, facing trouble 10 feet tall, you can run or you can fight. Take a stand for what is right. Armed with faith in God alone, guide the hand that holds a stone. you so much.
Good evening, and welcome to Red Barn Radio. Wherever in the world you're listening, welcome to the music of Kentucky. WEKU is Red Barn Radio's official radio partner, serving Central and Eastern Kentucky. Listen online at weku.fm. Red Barn Radio is supported by Visit Lex, Lexington, Kentucky's Convention and Visitors Bureau. More information on what Lexington has to offer is at visitlex.com. Lex Arts, Lexington, Kentucky's Arts Council, creating a great American city inspired by the arts. Chef Greg Scott and Broussard's Delta Kitchen, featuring authentic flavors of New Orleans and the Mississippi Delta on Main Street in historic Georgetown, Kentucky. Broussard's is on Facebook. Listen locally, working in concert with people to embrace opportunities, listen locally, and engage in shared experiences, including music, theater, poetry, dialogue, and conversation. More on Facebook, Instagram, and listenlocally.net. Griffin Gate Resort and Spa, a luxury spa located in the Marriott in Lexington, Kentucky. The Griffin Gate Marriott Resort and Spa is the ideal choice for your next visit to Lexington, Kentucky. And Accuprint, providing printing, design, and fulfillment. Online at accuprint.us. Follow Red Barn Radio on Twitter and hopefully like us on Facebook. Here are the hosts of Red Barn Radio to tell us more about tonight's performers.
On our Red Barn stage tonight is the Michelle Canning Band. With Michelle tonight are Elizabeth Bowman on bass, Erin Frosty Foster on guitar, and Sarah Kate Morgan on dulcimer. Everybody is singing. Welcome the Michelle Canning Band back to the Red Barn stage.
Thank you so much. That first song was one called Hand That Holds the Stone. I wrote that with Don Kenny and David Morris. We're going to actually do a show of all original material tonight, so we're really excited about that. This next one is one off of my latest album. It's one called The Guessing Game. I wake up every morning with you on my mind, and to tell the truth, I think about you all the time. Now I'm not sure I'm making the right move right now, but darling, I've just gotta figure out somehow. Am I right or am I wrong? Tell me how you feel. It's a two-way street, so tell me if your love is real. Yes, it's been way too long that I've had to play. So darling, tell me, did I win the guessing game? Sometimes I look and there I find a spark in your eye, one that may just lead to a flame sometime. But all I see are unused candles when I look again. So darling, tell me, can we be more than just friends? Am I right or am I wrong? Tell me how you feel. It's a two-way street, so tell me if your love is real. Yes, it's been way too long that I've had to play. So darling, tell me, did I win the guessing game? Yes, it's been way too long that I've had to play. So darling, tell me, did I much. Thank you. We're going to do another song off that same album. This is a song that I wrote about 3 years ago. I became the godmother to a beautiful little baby boy. He's not a baby anymore. Now he's a toddler, and he doesn't let me cuddle, but that's okay. His name is Ray, and he is just amazing. He was born in Arizona, and when he was born, before he was born, I really wanted to write him a lullaby. And I worked on it and worked on it and worked on it and couldn't get the words that I wanted. And then after he was born, I was in the airport on my way to go meet him when my brother sent me a picture of this beautiful little boy, and the words just came. And so this is the song that I ended up writing for him. This is called Till I Die. All I want to do is hold you for the rest of your life. All I want to do is sing to you, dry your tears when you cry. You're the best thing that's happened to me in my whole life. I promise I'll love you till I die. Till I die, I'll hold you close. I'll be there for you wherever life goes. When you're up in the air and walking on clouds, I'll be standing proud. When life gets you down, things go wrong, I'll remind you that you are strong. And I'll be there when tears start to fall from those gorgeous eyes. My promise, I'll love you till I die. Sleeping, your dreams won't be blue. And all I hope is that when you're dreaming, you'll make those dreams come true. 'Cause you've got the strength and you've got the smarts. And as for I, my promise, I'll love you till I die. Till I die, I'll hold you close. I'll be there for you wherever life goes. When you're up in the air and walking on clouds, I'll be standing proud. When life gets you down, things go wrong, I'll remind you that you are strong. And I'll be there when tears start to fall from those gorgeous eyes. My promise, I'll love you till I die. My promise, I'll love you till I die. Thank you. Well, this lady over here playing the bass, she's a great friend of mine. She's from Moorhead, Kentucky, and she's one of those people that plays every instrument she touches. She's extremely talented and also a great songwriter. She's such a great songwriter that she had been singing this song. We went to school together, and she'd been singing this song around school. And she'd been singing it for about a week or so, and I said to her one day, thank you. I said, Liz, when did you write that song? Her response was, that was a hit for, I can't concentrate, thank you. She said that was a hit for Emmylou Harris in 1972. So she's that great a songwriter. But I would love for her to sing you a song that she wrote. Would you make welcome Miss Liz Bowman?
Thank y'all. This is a song that I wrote in a class at the Kentucky Center for Traditional Music with Ruth McLean called One More Drop of Rain.
It's just a measure.
It'll sound so much better in tune.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3. The early morning dew don't mean nothing to a man who's up to wash it all away. Pressure in his hands, power with which to stand on a floating dock and not just float away. One more drop of rain, one more tick insane, wishing he was right back where he was. One more quiet prayer might wash him back there, but just as fast as one more drop of rain. Once upon a wave, in his handsome days, the water on his lips tasted like salt. Legs steady and true, eyes a brighter blue, stars to him trustworthy to a fault. One more drop of rain, one more tick insane, wishing he was right back where he was. One more quiet prayer might wash him back there, but just as fast as one more drop of rain. The morning glories close, he packs up his sponge and hose and heads up the marina to the shore. Lake days are a bust, but only to those who must use them to try and feel the sea once more. One more drop of rain, one more tick insane, wishing he was right back where he was. One more quiet prayer might wash him back there, but just as fast as one more drop of rain. One more quiet prayer might wash him back there, but just as fast as one more drop of rain.
That's Miss Liz Bowman. banjo tune for you. Do y'all like banjos? All right, just checking. This is a song that I wrote, a banjo tune that I wrote, and I got the title actually from Ruth McLean's songwriting class. We had been getting ready for a big show, and we were deciding who was going to play what instrument on different songs, and I happened to be the only banjo player in class that semester, so every time someone wanted a banjo, that meant I was going to get to play. So the first person who had a song that they didn't want a banjo, I looked at them with these big puppy dog eyes, and I said, "You mean you don't want to bang a banjo?" And Ruth said, "That's your next song." So this is an instrumental I wrote called Bang a Banjo.
Hi, folks. I'm Brad Becker, and we are here on Red Barn Radio tonight with the Michelle Canning Band. And it's Michelle Canning, obviously, playing the banjo there, Elizabeth Bowman, is here playing the bass. She sang a tune in that first set. That was really nice, Elizabeth. Aaron Foster is playing guitar when he's not playing football. And Sarah Kate Morgan is over there on the dulcimer. And some of these folks have been with us here on Red Barn Radio before, but it's always great to see you all again.
Oh, it's so great to be back.
And it's wonderful to hear, you know, how the music is coming along and sort of where you're headed with your dream.
Oh, absolutely. It's a whole lot of fun to come back here, you know, especially it's been a few years since the last time, and so it's fun to come and play new music for you. We've got some more new music coming up as well.
Yeah, yeah. And so when you were first on Red Barn Radio, Michelle, would you say that was maybe 5 or 6 years ago, even longer?
Probably about 5 or 6 years ago. I was with the Morehead State University Mountain Music Ambassadors the first time I performed here.
Yeah, right.
So I performed a couple times with them and a couple times with the Michelle Canning Band, and so this would be, I guess, my 4th time here at the Red Barn.
Huh. You seem really, always very comfortable, and you've always seemed that way.
Oh, thank you.
Has that always been the case, that you are actually really, really comfortable? Or have you just learned to smile through your tension?
I think I love what I'm doing, and
Yeah.
I'm a lot more comfortable on stage than I am off. I don't know, it's just a performer thing in me, I guess, but I just enjoy being on stage and love being on stage. And it's easier for me to talk to you and to all of you and everybody online than it is to like be face to face with one person and just have a conversation.
So should I ask the guys not to do any real close-ups on you then, so you don't have that feeling?
Just don't put the camera right there and I'll be fine.
So take people back a little bit. So what is unusual about you as a banjo player, and especially a banjo player who went through Morehead State, the traditional music program there,
Sure.
is that you're a New Englander?
I am. I'm originally from North Andover, Massachusetts, which is just north of Boston.
Yeah.
So it's, not a lot of banjo players up there, but those of us who are there, we like each other and we hang out and play music all the time. So we've got our little clan of bluegrassers.
Well, how did that happen, and how early in your life did it happen that you developed affection for bluegrass music?
Yeah, I was actually 8 years old, and I was at my grandparents' house. I always loved country music. That's what my mom always had on in the car. And so I always loved it, and I was at my grandparents' house. They were babysitting me. And we had, construction paper out. I was coloring, doing what 8-year-olds do, and I drew a guitar, and I said to my grandfather, "Let's make a band." And he said, "Okay, well, I'll play the guitar, and you play the banjo." But I didn't know what a banjo was. I was 8 years old in Massachusetts, And so I just asked him, "What's a banjo?" And he said, "Well, hold on, I'll show you." And he pulled this banjo out from his closet that he had bought years ago and never learned to play. And he put it in my arms, and I just fell in love with it.
And was it a resonator banjo?
It was.
Like
It was a
full-
bluegrass banjo.
Huh.
Yes, bigger than I was. The first maybe 3 years that I played the banjo, I had to have a capo on the 5th fret because I couldn't reach the top. But there is. But yeah, I just fell in love with it. And so he introduced me to bluegrass music. He played me some records and started bringing me to concerts and whatnot. And the more I went, the more I wanted to play the banjo. And so I begged my parents for a banjo for Christmas. I begged Santa for a banjo for Christmas. I did not get a banjo for Christmas.
Oh.
I know. It's such a
That's
bad
not right.
climax. But then on New Year's, I think my grandfather was just as disappointed as I was that I didn't get a banjo for Christmas. So on New Year's, Pepe came through the door with his banjo, and he handed it to me, and I was all excited, and he said, "No, it's yours." And so that was my first banjo that I learned to play on, and I've been playing ever since.
Huh. Talk about some of your early instruction in the instrument. Did you find yourself a really good instructor, good teacher up there?
I did. His name was Rich Stillman, and he's an incredible banjo player, an incredible person, and it was actually a pretty cool story because I loved this band called Southern Rail, and they were a band up in Massachusetts that they played all the New England circuit, and I would go see them all the time, and I got to know them, and they encouraged me to learn to play and whatnot. And so when I wanted to learn to play, my parents brought me to the local music store and said, "Do you have a banjo teacher?" And they said, "Well, no, we don't, but we used to." And they gave me the number of this guy who used to teach there. So my parents called, and they said, you know, she loves this band called Southern Rail. And he paused, and he said, I used to play in that band. So we called Sharon, who's the leader of Southern Rail, and said, you know, tell us about this guy. And she said, oh, he's wonderful. So I started taking lessons with him, and he ended up being an incredible teacher. I learned so much from him. And through me, he reconnected with Southern Rail, and when their banjo player moved on to other things, they had Rich come back and play with them, and so now today Rich is the banjo player for Southern Rail again.
Oh, wow, that's a great story. Did you go to public school?
I did not. I went to a private Catholic school in Andover, Massachusetts, where the banjo was not cool.
I was just going to ask you that. Yeah, did the banjo win you friends or lose you friends, or neither?
I think when I first started playing, I was only 8, so people didn't really know what a banjo was, so they couldn't really call me a hick because they didn't know what it was. So I was kind of saved by that. In middle school, it wasn't the coolest thing in the world. But in high school, I was kind of expecting to get picked on, and instead I got embraced, and they loved it. I played banjo in the jazz band in high school.
Oh,
and
come on.
I had a lot of friends in high school, some that I'm still friends with today, and people really loved it there.
Were you involved in music in school outside of your personal interest in the banjo? Did you do other things? Were you in choir? Or did you play other instruments?
No, not until high school. I did jazz band in high school, and I was in the drama club. But other than that, before I played the banjo, I was not involved in music in any other way.
And so then you finished up high school, and did you know from the time you graduated that it was a traditional music program, where you wanted to go?
I did, yeah. So I looked at a number of schools that had traditional music programs.
What are some of the other ones, yeah?
So I looked at East Tennessee State University.
Sure.
I looked at Bethel University, and then I looked at Moorhead.
I don't know about the program at Bethel.
Yeah, so Bethel has a program. It's not a degree program. It's more of an extracurricular, but they have a bluegrass group that tours and performs and whatnot. So I looked at those 3 schools and absolutely fell in love with Moorhead and knew that that's where I wanted to be.
Yeah, how did that happen? So you came to visit and...
Yeah, I came to visit. Raymond McLean was there.
Oh, he was?
And he was the first person I met, and he just made me feel so welcome. And then I started meeting the students, and the students made me feel welcome. And I remember leaving after we had met with everybody. I was walking back to the car, and Thomas Albert, who was a student at the time, chased me down just to say goodbye. And I thought, this is where I need to be. I'm welcome here, and people want me. And as soon as I came in as a freshman, I was part of the group. I wasn't the new girl. I was part of the group, and that was really special.
So did you ever compete with the banjo for prizes and fortune?
The Lowell Banjo and Fiddle Contest up in Lowell, Massachusetts. I did that just about every year from the time I was maybe 10 until 18 or so. And I won that a number of times and then placed a number of other times. And then in 2009, I actually became the youngest person and only female to win the New England Banjo Championship. And that was in Ossipee Valley, New Hampshire.
Ossipee Valley?
Maine. Not New Hampshire, Maine.
Oh, that's
but
right.
yes, Ossipee Valley.
You could have faked me out. I wouldn't have caught you on that one. And what did that? What do you remember about that particular contest? Was there a lot of competition?
There was, and I was by far the youngest in the competition. It was the week before my 15th birthday, so I was almost 15, and there was a lot of people much older than me, and I didn't expect to win or to even place. I was just gonna go and play. And they called out 3rd place, and it wasn't me. And I thought, well, then I've definitely not placed. And then they called out 2nd place, and it still wasn't me. And I wasn't surprised because I didn't place. And then the MC was somebody I knew, and he said, in 1st place, and then he looked me dead in the eye.
Oh, come on.
And my heart stopped. And he said, Michelle, and before he could get out canning, the crowd went nuts. And that's what I remember from that day, is just being shocked beyond belief. And my dad backed me up on guitar, and I have great pictures of me and Dad just grinning ear to ear, holding the banjo that I won,
Oh, that's wonderful. And so, I don't know how the banjo competition goes. I'm pretty familiar with the fiddle competition, but what do they have you play three tunes? Have you played
Yeah,
like
it's
a
similar to a fiddle
hoedown, waltz,
competition.
tune
So
of
there'll be
choice?
3 tunes. They let us choose what the tunes are, but of course it's good to show off different styles. But yeah,
Yeah.
so you play 3 tunes, and then they have a criteria that they're judging you on, and you know in advance what that criteria is, and then they'll pick their winner.
Are they watching you?
They are.
Okay, so you don't have blind judging?
No,
Have
they
you
can
ever-
see you.
Have you ever done a contest with blind judging?
Only one time.
Prefer that?
I don't have a preference.
Yeah, I mean, I would say the other would favor you because you're such a wonderful performer.
Oh, you're sweet.
No, I mean really, but I mean you're so present, and that just to me factors in so big
Well, thank
when
you.
it comes to judging musicians, right? That
Sure, yeah.
We play music and we perform, right? And you
Absolutely.
entertain people, and well, I think that's great. Have you ever been back to the competition that you won as the youngest?
No, they actually, so the year after I won, an older male won, and then they stopped having the competition. So forever, I am the youngest and only female ever to win.
All right, very nice. Well, folks, I'm talking to Michelle Canning, and she's only 1/4 of the people who are up here, the talented folks who are on the stage. And so when we come back for the second interview, we'll talk with some of them and learn about what they do and how they got where they are. So let's welcome back the Michelle Canning Band to the Red Barn stage.
Thank you. We're going to do a little set of songs that are written for people. I've been writing a lot of songs for family members lately, especially and friends as well. So this first one that we're going to do, I wrote for my Aunt Shirley. She was a gourmet cook, and you'll learn that in this song. It's one called Good to See You. I can smell the turkey roasting, table's almost set. Try to sneak some stuff in, Mom yells, save it for the guests. Counting every second till we hear the doorbell ring. Can't wait for a taste of the pies Aunt Shirley brings. Good to see you, it's been a little while. Good to see you, I miss your sweet smile and the way that you light up every room you walk into. Ooh, good to see you. Thumbing through your cookbook, rolling out the dough, but it won't taste like yours did when you made it years ago. We miss you at the table, but you're never far away. We hear you in our laughter, find your joy on every face. Good to see you, it's been a little while. Good to see you, I miss your sweet smile and the way that you light up every room you walk into. Ooh, good to see you. When we get to heaven, oh how we'll celebrate our happy reunion when I get to say, good to see you, it's been a little while. Good to see you, I miss your sweet smile and the way that you light up every room you walk into. Ooh, good to see you, I miss the way that you light up every room you walk into. Ooh, good to see you. Ooh, good to see you. Thank you so much. This gentleman over here playing the guitar, he is originally from upstate New York. He now lives in Elizabethton, Tennessee. He is one of my best friends in the world. We grew up on opposite sides of the Northeast and then moved to opposite sides of Tennessee.
Yeah, pretty much.
But we grew up going to bluegrass festivals together, and He's like a brother to me. He messes my hair and he turns my tuning pegs and everything else, but I love him anyways. This is actually a song that he and I wrote together, along with Dave Morris and Don Kenny. Aaron, why don't you tell them about it?
This particular song is about a couple people who are very special to me, and about my grandparents. And I don't even think they know the song exists yet, so this will be the first time they hear it, I'm sure. I'll try not to think about that when I sing it, so I'll probably start crying or something. But this is a song that's special to me, and thank you and your roommates, Don and Dave, for helping me out. And sometimes it's hard when you got something that really means a lot to you to put words to it, and they helped out. And this one's called My Angels Without Wings. First thing I remember was bluegrass in my ears. Grandpa led me to the stage. Years later, I'm still here. He and Grandma saw in me the man that I could be. Guided me to play and sing My Angels Without Wings. God sent me 2 angels long before I came to be. And every step along the way, they've been there for me. Bought me my first Martin, now God works through these strings. Thank God for sending me my angels without wings. They're both walking sermons, don't tell but they show. Their love for God and family shapes everything I know. Maybe someday I could be what they were to me. Someone else's blessing, an angel without wings. God sent me 2 angels long before I came to be. And every step along the way, they've been there for me. They bought me my first Martin, now God works through these strings. And I thank the Lord for sending me my angels without wings. God sent me 2 angels long before I came to be. And every step along the way, they've been there for me. They bought me my first Martin, now God works through these strings. And I thank the Lord for sending me my angels without wings.
That's Aaron Foster. We've got one more for this segment. This is a song that I wrote for my grandmother. And I never met her, but I've heard she's pretty special. And I know in my heart that she's pretty special. And it's a funny story. When I was writing this song, I wrote this with Carlin Mays. And Carlin said to me, let's call your dad and find out what you have that you've inherited from your grandmother. So we called him, and she said, we're writing a song about your mother, and we were wondering, do you see any of your mother in Michelle? And he said, oh, yeah, and he started listing all these things, and then he stopped for a minute, and he said, wait a minute. Michelle's mother or my mother? And she said, your mother, and he said, oh. And then he just sat there quietly, and then he said, well, she was stubborn. Michelle's stubborn. And she liked TV, and Michelle likes TV. And that's when he stopped. With a little arm twisting, I got some more flattering things out of him. But this is a song that I wrote for my grandma, who's an angel. It's one called Maybe I Get That From You. those balloons I sent up to you during every celebration through the years. Each one a hug from Grandma, who's an angel, to let you know we miss having you here. How I wish with all my heart that I had met you, 'cause hand-me-down memories aren't the same. From time to time I compare our pictures, but you're more than a woman in a frame. Daddy says he sees you in me, and I love to think it's true. Here I am trying to write a perfect song for someone that I never knew. Maybe I get that from you. Every project that you started, but always kept your family number one. I've been told you and I could both be stubborn, but that's just what it takes to get stuff done. Daddy says he sees you in me, and I love to think it's true. Here I am trying to write the perfect song for someone that I never knew. Maybe I get that from you. If I could reach you with a phone call, we'd talk for hours like you used to do. Here I am trying to write a perfect song for someone my heart always knew. Maybe I get that from you. Maybe I get that from you. I think I get that from you. Thank you.
Hey folks, Red Barn Radio is brought to you with the help of IP&J Cuban Foods, authentic Cuban food with a South Florida twist, featuring premier Cuban sandwiches, plantain nachos, and traditional Cuban plates. Slow-cooked meats and more. IP&J Cuban is on Facebook and Instagram. Listen locally, working in concert with people to embrace opportunities. Listen locally and engage in shared experiences, including music, theater, poetry, dialogue, and conversation. More on Facebook, Instagram, and listenlocally.net. Accuprint provides our print design and fulfillment. They're online at accuprint.us. And now welcome to the second half of tonight's Red Barn Radio program. Red Barn Radio comes to you live from the Arts Place Performance Hall here in the great city of Lexington, Kentucky. Please welcome back the Michelle Canning Band.
Thank you so much. Well, this next song is one that I wrote for my buddy John Westcott. I see him all the time, even after he's passed away, because he comes to me as Butterflies. And this is a song off of our latest record, and this is for him, one called Butterfly. Back in the days when life seemed so easy, those pretty winged creatures were attracted to you. They'd land atop your arm, you would try to pass them to me, but they would never stay. Back to heaven they flew. I remember when you told me how the cancer took your body, the day that you told me you were going far away. And I knew in my heart that God would take care of you for me, but you were convinced it's just a stone cold wooden grave. It's good to see you, butterfly, dropping in just to say hi. Show that you're around, then fly away. There's a comfort, butterfly, knowing that you're by my side, and your love is always here to stay, butterfly. promise you'd resolve our disagreement. If there was a heaven, you would let us know somehow. And I promised not to cry, but I broke that as soon as you went. And I just hope today that my music makes you proud. It's good to see you, butterfly, dropping in just to say hi. Show that you're around and fly away. There's a comfort, butterfly, knowing that you're by my side. And your love is always here to stay, butterfly. It's good to see you, butterfly, dropping in just to say hi. Show that you're around and fly away. There's a comfort, butterfly, knowing that you're by my side. And your love is always here to stay, butterfly. Now know your love is always here to stay, butterfly. Thank you. Thank you so much. Over here on the dulcimer, she is from Sharps Chapel, Tennessee, and a fantastic dulcimer player. As a matter of fact, Brad was talking about contests. She is the 2012 National Dulcimer Playing Champion. She's also a fantastic songwriter. This is Miss Sarah Kate Morgan.
Well, it's awfully lovely to be back on the Red Barn. Now, this is a tune that I wrote inspired by square dance. 1, 2, 3. Will you go dancing with me, my darling? Will you go swinging all through the night? And if we go dancing together this evening, I'll make it hard for you to say goodbye. Oh, seeing you swinging with your neighbor makes me want to make you mine. But a better dancer in this whole county, oh, I'd be hard-pressed for to find. And will you go dancing with me, my darling? Will you go swinging all through the night? And if we go dancing together this evening, I'll make it hard for you to say goodbye. Girls, keep your partners on your left side. Gents, keep your darlings all on your right. And if you stumble, just keep on a-smiling, and everything will turn out right. Will you go dancing with me, my darling? Will you go swinging all through the night? And if we go dancing together this evening, I'll make it hard for you to say goodbye. I see you waltzing with a stranger while I'm sitting on the sides. But when you asked me to dance the last one, it was the best part of the night. Will you go dancing with me, my darling? Will you go swinging all through the night? And if we go dancing together this evening, I'll make it hard for you to say goodbye. I'll make it hard for you to say goodbye. Thank y'all.
That's Sarah Kate Morgan. I was waiting for the hat service there. This next song is actually the title track off of our latest album. And it's, by the way, Raymond McLean is on this album. Raymond is the director of the Kentucky Center for Traditional Music and one of my closest friends. And he taught me banjo and singing and guitar and basically everything I do. You're so funny.
You'd think they'd be more coordinated.
But anyways, so I wrote this song. This is the title track, and I wrote this when I was a senior in college. And when you're a freshman in college, you think that by the time you're a senior, you're going to have life figured out and everything is going to be just like daisies and sunshine. And then you get to be a senior and you realize you have nothing figured out and you're just blue and miserable.
So they stay senior after years like I did.
So I wrote this during my blue and miserable stage. You'll be glad to know, especially you two, that you get out of the blue and miserable stage.
She's out. I'm still in.
Well, you'll be happy to know that you get out of the blue and miserable stage, I promise. But
Sure.
This is a song about being scared about life. It's called The Next 11 Miles. Speeding through my life out on the interstate, same old road that I was driving yesterday, thinking through the miles of this crazy life I live, and wondering what is lying up ahead. So far I've conquered all the hills, the twists and turns, but that don't mean I've never had to crash and burn. Heartaches came, but I learned a lesson all the while, one I'll remember in the next 11 miles. Uncertainty awaits me in the road that lies ahead. There's a worry that consumes me when I lay down in my bed. In the darkness I can't see what's beyond my headlights. Will my dreams come true, or will I lose the fight in the next 11 miles? In the right lane I get passed up 'cause I played it safe. In the left lane I take risks I'm just not ready to take. I won't know until it's over if my choices are worthwhile. Guess I'll find out in the next 11 miles. Uncertainty awaits me in the road that lies ahead. There's a worry that consumes me when I lay down in my bed. In the darkness I can't see what's beyond my headlights. Will my dreams come true, or will I lose the fight in the next 11 miles? Will I find my destination and look right where I belong, or will I spin out from the road wishing I could go back home? Uncertainty awaits me in the road that lies ahead. There's a worry that consumes me when I lay down in my bed. In the darkness I can't see what's beyond my headlights. Will my dreams come true? Will I lose the fight in the next 11 miles? In the next 11
11 miles. In the next 11 miles.
Thank you.
All right. You're here with us on Red Barn Radio. We're talking to the Michelle Canning Band, and this evening they've come here in full force to play some great new music for us, and it's been just a joy. Really been enjoying it so much, Michelle.
Thank you.
I want to talk to all of you. Elizabeth, I don't know that we've ever met before. Is this your first time on Red Barn Radio?
Yeah, not my first time in the building though.
Oh, really? When were you here in this building?
Actually, I was with a duo called the Tea Lights. We played for the Old Time Festival.
Oh, all right.
So, she's here, Caroline Copley.
Oh, all right.
Oh, I wasn't expecting a clap. Y'all don't have to clap.
I recognize Caroline out there. All right. Well, that's cool. So you tell us about your path to Moorhead.
I was born there.
Oh, okay.
So it was a short path. People at MSU, they're always like, where are you from? And I'm like, here. And they're like, why did you live in a dorm? And I didn't have a car, so I didn't want to cross a creek in the winter. So I just moved on campus. And
Oh, all right.
wandered down past Main Street and found the Traditional Music Center.
Oh, all right. Yeah.
not a long path.
Yeah. So that was really more my question. I guess I should have asked it. Is what about the path to the traditional music program?
So I'm a townie, and the building used to be our public library where I spent all my time because I don't have friends. And they shut the library down and moved it. And forever I was like, Mom, what's that building? I was like a kid. And Mom was like, I don't know. It says Kentucky Center for Traditional Music. And I was like, well, I don't like it because that was the library. They ruined it. And so there's a coffee shop in town that Grant Alden runs, and I was playing there at open mics, and he's like, you should introduce yourself to Raymond McLean. And I was like, who's that? And he was like, he's the director at the Traditional Music Center. I was like, I don't want to go down there because they ruined the library.
Yeah, right.
But eventually I went and auditioned, and they let me in for some reason.
Well, for obvious reasons. And what did you audition on? What instrument?
Guitar,
Okay.
I think.
Would you call that? Is that your principal instrument?
My, mandolin is my
Oh, it
major.
is. Oh,
Yeah.
all right. And are you actually doing your BA in
traditional music.
In traditional music,
Yeah.
and with a focus on mandolin? Mm-hmm.
It's funny because my dad gave me this big lecture like dads do, and he's like, you need to pick a minor that's going to help you. And so I'm minoring in jazz music.
Oh.
the other music building on campus. So I just really don't want to make money when I'm older.
Yeah, right. Well, at least you weren't minoring in like the pan flute or something.
Yeah.
You know.
That'd be silly. I'm not doing that.
Not as silly as something like banjo.
Michelle.
But look at she did fine. She did fine with it. So you have been there now for 3 years or 4 years, in your senior year?
Yeah, this is my last semester.
And do you feel real blue?
Yeah.
Her voice cracks.
Listen, it's been a rough time. I'm getting my master's to teach music in elementary school level, so that'll be fun.
Yeah.
You know
It's
what I-
scary.
Yeah,
If
well,
you
of
get
course
a
it is.
master's degree, you can stay 2 more years, so you don't have to be blue or miserable for 2 more years.
Do you want to hear something awful?
I do.
Morehead
No,
State.
I want to hear something really nice.
Well, too bad. You came
Okay.
to the wrong show. Morehead State does not have a master's program in elementary education. I know. So I don't get to go there. And
Well, go to Raymond. Tell Raymond to do it.
get on
To
it.
fix it. Raymond will fix it.
Yeah, I'm going to get a master's in traditional elementary music education.
Do you envision yourself in a sort of a rural public school setting, urban? Any ideas?
Yeah, I've noticed. Yeah, I'm going to Massachusetts. No, I have noticed recently. So I had a lot of really amazing music teachers growing up. Jesse Wells is Tyler Childers' fiddle player, and his wife was my elementary school music teacher. And then middle school, I had Nick Diedrichson for band, and then high school, Amanda Wells
moved there. So, but I've noticed recently the elementary school that I go to, I didn't see on their website that they have a music teacher. And so with everything that's going on in Kentucky, there's not a lot of music teachers at the elementary school level where I'm from. So
Yeah, well, it
probably
seems
stay there.
yeah, well, it seems like Amanda's over at Lafayette now. I think in
Scapa.
or at Scapa, right?
I think.
Yeah, right. That's Scapa Lafayette, and she could probably help you find some work. I bet.
I've probably messaged her crying twice now. So, like, hey, I don't have a future. What do I do?
You did have some amazing teachers, and it paid off, obviously.
Hey, Raymond.
Yeah, you sound great. I really enjoyed hearing you sing stuff. Aaron, how about if you step up? So, Aaron, why do they call you Frosty?
You know,
Would you mind?
everyone asks me this. I really don't have a cool story, and I need to make one up. What it was is my roommate now, his name is Josh Mead. He was one of the first people I met. I went to East Tennessee State University in Johnson City, similar program. Actually, Raymond was, we'd figured it out. My first semester was your last semester at ETSU.
Yeah, Kentucky stole
Yeah.
him from there.
Yeah.
Right.
I scared him off. They didn't even know me, but I guess.
him.
Yeah. But what was the question again? Oh, yeah, that's right.
I don't remember.
What's your
Yeah. So one of the first people I met there was Josh Mead, and he's my roommate now, and we've played a lot of music together. And my last name was Foster, and it was like, I don't know, 3 a.m. on a Saturday, and he was like, he asked me if I wanted to go to Waffle House, but he said, Frosty, do you want to go to Waffle House? And I didn't respond to him, but he just started calling me Frosty because my last name was Foster, and I'm from New York where it's supposed to be cold, I guess. And
Oh, okay.
another group of people there heard him say it, and it started there, and now it goes to the point where my professors at ETSU didn't call me my name; they called me Frosty. So that's kind of how it started, I guess.
There's a story. There's a story there. I think you could develop that a little
I know,
bit.
yeah.
but
I want to make it about wrestling a polar bear and winning.
Yeah, right.
That
You
would be
could do
good.
that,
Yeah.
and everybody would believe it. So you're from upstate New York. Where?
I'm from Wellsbridge, New York. Which, if you guys
Bridge.
are
That's
familiar,
not. Yeah, that's not. But that's Wellsbridge. That's not as far west as she said. The opposite side of.
Well, no, not yeah. The opposite side of New England, I guess, would be what, Buffalo or something like that.
or
But
Binghamton or-
I'm about 40 minutes
East.
east of Binghamton. Yeah.
Right
That's
on
yeah.
that on 88.
And
Right.
exit 12 and 88. Yeah.
That great 88 road where there are never any cars on it. I
I know,
always
yeah,
loved
yeah,
that
it's
road.
great. There's never any cars on it, and that's why they don't do construction on it, and that's why you can ruin your suspension just driving to Oneonta.
Oh, really?
It's pretty rough. It's a rough ride.
Well, I'll be going there soon, so it's
Oh,
good to know.
yeah, that's
so how is it that bluegrass music came into your life living in the boondocks of New York?
It was my grandparents. My grandparents were fans of bluegrass music, and they, on a whim, I guess, went to a bluegrass festival sometime in the 80s. And they met the Boys from Indiana, which you guys don't know who the Boys from Indiana are. They're great songwriters and entertainers in bluegrass music history. And before they knew it, they were so close with them that they were like running the Boys from Indiana suite at IBMA in Kentucky, IBMA being the big International Bluegrass Music Association convention. And there's lots of cool stories about my grandparents. Well, they have lots of cool stories about, running that suite with all of my heroes in the same room at the same time. And they've got photographs, and photo albums that I have to go through. And some of them are in focus, some of them aren't, but you can still tell that it's Jimmy Martin in the room or, whoever it may be. But they started taking me to festivals when I was in diapers. I don't even remember my first bluegrass festival. And I think back as hard as I can, and I think my first memory was the Peaceful Valley Bluegrass Festival in Shinhopple, New York, eating an ice cream cone with my granddad, watching Jim and Jesse play. I think that's, and I remember being really shy at that festival. Jim and Jesse Jim McReynolds came up to me and was trying to get me to, get on his shoulder or something, and I was so shy, but I was so starstruck. It was the first time I remember being real starstruck. And they're really, as a kid, they had the hair slicked back, the whole thing, and it was and suit and ties. Everything about them was, like this. Everything about him was godly in a way, So as a little kid, I was a little shy, and I wish I could go back to that time and climb Jim, but I can't. But And then they ran into the Gibson brothers, who before they even had
Also
their
at
first album
IBMA?
out. No, the Gibson brothers are from Plattsburgh area of New York,
Yeah.
upstate New York, and they kind of took me under my wing when I started playing. Because when I was 10 years old, I was going to these festivals, and after the show was over, there was nothing literally left for me to do. But I saw these people picking at the their campers and stuff, and I was like, I'd like to participate in that, so I don't have to do nothing and just go to bed or whatever. So I asked for Christmas that year for a guitar, and Eric Gibson picked me out a Alvarez RD8. My grandparents bought it at, I think it's Dick's Country Store Music Oasis in Churubusco, New York. They picked it up for me, got it for Christmas, and fast forward, here I am.
Wow.
Yeah.
Neat story.
Yeah.
Well, hold on to that memory of,
Will do,
staring
for
up.
sure.
at
I think
Jim
that's
and
got to be
Jesse.
my
Wow.
my memory is that festival. And they had those, they were like rubber balls, and they had like streamers that came out of the back of them, all different colors, and the kids would throw them up in the air, and catch them. I remember throwing those. The instrument hopple was kind of like a natural amphitheater in a way. Well, the opposite of one. Stage was kind of on top of a hill, looking down. And all the kids were on like the left side of the stage, throwing all these up the hill, and then land at the bottom. You roll down the grass down to the bottom of the hill, get it, go back up to the top, throw it over and over. I remember doing that.
all right.
That's the youngest memory I can think of. So.
That's very nice. Hey, thanks, Aaron. And Sarah Kate, you've been on here before. We've talked many times, and so I hope I'll have something fresh to ask. First of all, I don't know that many of us have ever seen the dulcimer played as a lead instrument. I play lead dulcimer with this bluegrass band. When you set out to when you started playing dulcimer, and once you realized you were really good at it, did you set out to just be the best traditional dulcimer player ever, or did you ever imagine that you might sort of innovate with that instrument?
Well, I had a lot of folks that encouraged me to go beyond the traditional style, whatever that means, and the dulcimer in and of itself is a very young instrument. It's not an instrument that has hundreds and hundreds of years of history that backs up how we're supposed to play this instrument. So in many ways, the dulcimer is still evolving, and so people are building in lots of different styles. People are playing in lots of different styles, and yeah, I mean, in terms of what I do is just part of the process of evolving this instrument.
Yeah. Well, that was a very concise answer.
What you got next? I'm ready.
So I guess what I wonder is, do you ever imagine that at some point, for instance, you might? There are so many ways to innovate, obviously musically, but have you ever plugged it in? Ever done anything like that?
Oh yeah.
Like tell me.
My dulcimer has the capability to be electric. I've got to pick up on it, and there's lots of folks that are building solid body electric dulcimers, which is wild. It's not what necessarily what I want to invest my time in, but there's lots of folks that are doing that, and yeah, it's an exciting time.
Yeah. Well, that's so interesting. Honestly, I think I would have assumed that the dulcimer was an ancient instrument.
No.
Huh.
It started as sort of the ingenuity of immigrants coming from Germany and Austria, from several different instruments that are in the zither family. And when they immigrated to America, they didn't necessarily have the resources to replicate those really complex instruments. And so they sort of used what they had in their memories of these instruments back home, and the dulcimer sort of evolved from those instruments.
Yeah. What other instruments do you play?
I play upright bass. And I'm learning guitar. Yeah.
Are there any other instruments to which the sort of dulcimer technique transfer, easily?
I found that because the dulcimer. My strumming hand has really transitioned into playing guitar really well, because playing dulcimer requires a lot of strumming. It's a very strummy instrument, so I've developed a strong right hand, and that has sort of shifted onto mountain dulcimer or guitar rather.
Yeah. Have you ever hammered?
No, I have not played hammer dulcimer.
I'm surprised.
It's funny that you mentioned that because hammer dulcimer and mountain dulcimer are two different instruments.
Yes.
They have absolutely zero in common.
Well, they have the same name. They both are called dulcimers.
Yeah. The hammer dulcimer is an ancient Persian instrument that is the precursor to the piano. It's one of the oldest instruments in
Yeah.
the world. And the mountain dulcimer is one of the newest instruments in the world. It's an Appalachian instrument. But I think people just looked in the Bible, and the dulcimer is mentioned in the Bible. So throughout history, there's been lots of different instruments that have been called dulcimer.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And so there's a lyre kind of instrument
Yes.
that used to be called the dulcimer. And the dulcimer, the word itself means sweet sound in Greek. So lots of different instruments have been called it. Just right now in 2020, this just happens to be the dulcimer.
Yay! Well, that's pretty neat. I learned something new tonight. And real quick, tell us about these some of these contests that you won. How recently did you become the very best in the world?
Oh, I don't know about that. Well, I mean, it was quite a while ago. It was back in 2010. I was 2012. Sorry, the 2012 National Mountain Dulcimer Championship, and it was a really fun experience. It really made me practice and really hone my skills at that time.
Was that in the South, or was that out in Winfield, in Kansas?
It was in Winfield, Kansas, at the national flat picking competitions, and they have
okay.
banjo and fiddle and guitar and all
everything,
kinds
right.
of things, and dulcimers included.
That's a really, really good contest to win.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
I would
It was
say. And
fun.
so how many, if you mind me asking, how many people did you compete against?
There's about 20 people, and 4 of them were previous national champions, which was fun because usually it was a really big year that year. There's usually a very small amount of people competing. So.
Do you listen to other dulcimer players?
Yeah. Phyllis Gaskins from Galax, West Virginia. She's a great traditional style. My friends Stephen Seaford and Aaron O'Roark, they're both incredible, game changers in this genre that have really taught me a lot, have taken me under their wing.
And so when you win a competition like that, does that open some doors for you? Like, for instance, in Nashville, are there folks who are like, I really want dulcimer sounds on my new recording, and who should I call? Well, the best in the world.
Well, I hope they call me.
Yeah. No, I was just curious to know, have you had opportunities to go in the studio?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I think one thing that's beautiful about this instrument is that it provides a really nice just bed for the human voice, and it provides it's a really nice instrument to accompany other things and accompany other folks and other instruments. So I've had the opportunity to not only play with support Michelle, but also play in support of a lot of different folks and be involved in a lot of different projects, because the dulcimer is such a unique sound, and nothing quite duplicates it.
Well, you're a beautiful player, a beautiful singer,
Well, thanks.
and a beautiful person, and all of you. I really enjoyed talking with you tonight. Thanks for being on Red Barn Radio with us, and we're glad that you're not leaving right this second, that you can play some more music for us.
Absolutely.
All
We
right.
love playing music.
All right, well, let's hear some more music from the Michelle Canning Band.
Sounds good. Thank you, Brad. Well, this next song is the bonus track on my album, and it's one that I wrote about myself. If you can't tell, I like sparkles. So this is one called Sparkle On. You hear the talk all over town, and you know how quick word spreads around. Oh, there's always people who don't like what you do, but girl, there's more who love you. Sparkle on, show the world that you're proud to be a girl. Oh, you're pretty as you are, but your makeup, high heel get up makes you strong. Sparkle on, sparkle on. Old blue jeans and a big t-shirt. For a lot of girls, that would work. But if it don't make you feel beautiful inside, we'll zip you in that dress, nice and tight. Sparkle on, show the world that you're proud to be a girl. Oh, you're pretty as you are, but your makeup, high heel get up makes you strong. sparkle on, sparkle on. Just because you shimmer don't mean you think you're more than you are. So keep both heels on the ground and reach up for the stars. Sparkle on, show the world that you're proud to be a girl. Oh, you're pretty as you are, but your makeup, high-heeled get-up makes you strong. Sparkle on, sparkle on, oh sparkle on, yeah sparkle on. Thank you. Thank you so much. We're going to do a song that's particularly special to me. When I was about, 12 years old, my grandfather passed away with Alzheimer's disease. And it was really hard on our family to, go through that. And so a number of years later, when I was in high school, I was thinking about that, and I was thinking about what I could do to try to help other families that are going through that and to try to eventually put an end to Alzheimer's disease. And I realized, I'm not a scientist or a doctor or anything, so there was nothing I could do medically, but through music, there's always something you can do to help. So I started the annual A Night on the Edge benefit concert. It's every year. It's coming up March 21st of 2020 in Chelmsford, Massachusetts. And over the past, this will be our 9th year. Over the past 8 years, we've raised over $32,000 for the Alzheimer's Foundation of America. Thank you. And now I know Chelmsford's a long ways from here, so for those of you who maybe can't come all the way to Chelmsford to be a part of it, you can certainly still help. If you go on michellecanning.net, there's a button you can click to donate to that cause. We also have some merchandise here. We have some T-shirts and bracelets and bandanas, and all the proceeds from those go directly to the Alzheimer's Foundation of America as well. But this is a song I wrote. It's not necessarily about my grandfather, but it's for him, and it's a big part of our benefit concert every year. It's one called It'll Take 'Em Away. He's home, tired, sad, and lonely. She's been gone now nearly a year. He finds comfort looking at old photos, but pictures can't replace her. His son stops by, he sees his grandkids. Oh, he loves them, but he don't know their names. He reads a card that says happy birthday, but he can't remember his age. And his family deals with the pain. His memory grows worse every day. There's nothing they can do. She went through it too, and they know it'll take him away. he won't go into the old folks' home. He calls for Martha, but she don't come to him. His son reminds him that she has gone, and his family deals with the pain. His memory grows worse every day. There's nothing they can do. She went through it too, and they know it'll take him away. Oh, there's nothing they can do. She went through it too, and they cried when it took him away. Thank you very much. If you have a loved one who has or had Alzheimer's disease, and you'd like to honor them in a special way, please send us a picture of them, and we'll include them as a part of our benefit. We've got time for one more. Thank you all so much for being with us tonight. It's been such a pleasure to be here with you all. And those of you watching online and listening on the radio, thank you so much. And we have some CDs for sale over at the table. If you're watching or listening, you can purchase. You can, purchase. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. You can purchase merchandise. I think I thought I said merchase. Anyways. You can purchase merchandise.
And we're all sober, too.
At michellecanning.net. Don't go to michellecanning.com. You'll get somebody else. So michellecanning.net. But we're going to end with a song that I wrote when I was angry on an airplane. And you can tell in the song that I was angry. And if you listen to the title, you know that I was on an airplane. Because it's called High Above the Mountains. Don't you tell me that it hurt you that day, that you just lost all the feelings you had. You're sorry that it all ended this way, that you never meant to make me feel bad. Then you picked me up off my feet, like a bird. You stole away my heart, then away we soared, and you carried me high above the mountains, and you carried me over all the seas, and you took me high above the treetops, and you took another girl flying high above the mountains. You'd say you'll always be there for me, then why'd you lie about why you left? You say that we just weren't meant to be, but for me you'll always want the best, even among the darkest clouds. One sees birds in the sky, so don't ever think that I was lying when you took her to fly, and you carried her high above the mountains, and you carried her over all the seas, then you took her high above the treetops, then you took another girl flying high above the mountains. Then you took me high above the treetops. Oh, it felt so good to be flying in your breeze. And you took me high above the white clouds until you let me go. Then you took another girl flying high above the mountains. Then you'll take another girl, and you'll take another girl, and you'll take another girl flying high above the mountains. Thank you so much.
We would like to thank the Michelle Canning Band for being with us this evening. We also thank our volunteers for their help with our production each week. Very special thank goes out to Nick Lazaroff for his terrific production photography. And thank you all for listening to our webcast, watching us on YouTube Live, and those listening to us on the Red Barn network of stations. Thanks to WEKU, Red Barn Radio's official radio partner, public radio for Central and Eastern Kentucky. Listen online at weku.fm. It's your chance to hear more great live Kentucky music from Red Barn Radio and WEKU. Last but far from least, we also thank the members of our studio audience for supporting the mission of Red Barn Radio, which strives to present, promote, preserve, and share the rich musical magic of this Kentucky region. Red Barn Radio comes to you from our home, the Arts Place Performance Hall in downtown Lexington, Kentucky. Our website has updates and further information on our guests and our program. We're on the web at redbarnradio.com. Tickets for Red Barn Radio are now available at eventbrite.com, Lexington. Next week, Red Barn Radio welcomes Tyler Stevens. Tyler is a young country singer-songwriter from Eastern Kentucky who's been touring extensively and playing some of the most popular country nightclubs and casinos around the U.S. If you love country music and a southern drawl, y'all, then join Tyler Stevens and his band next week, 7 p.m. here on the Red Barn stage. And now, once again, give it up for the Michelle Canning Band here on the Red Barn stage.
Thank you so much. Well, it's been a pleasure performing for you all. This is last one is one that I wrote with Greg Matthews, and it's for all the people who have played a role in my life. Many of you are here. This is called "Shine in Me." Noses pressed against the glass. No one even has to ask which one is me. Newest member of the family. Daddy's cheeks and Pepe's chin. Grandpa says I look like him, and Mommy cries 'cause I got her eyes. Oh, tell me, do you see the reflection of your love shining down on me? The very best of me is a collection of the memories, each one a puzzle piece. It's who I am and everything I'm gonna be. Oh, how you shine in me. Stepping on the yellow bus, your baby girl is growing up a little scared, but your love goes with me everywhere. Make new friends along the way, more pieces falling into place, shaping me, daring me to dream. I hope you realize every time you see that sparkle in my eye, the very best of me is a collection of the memories, each one a puzzle piece. It's who I am and everything I'm gonna be. Oh, how you shine in me. Looking at my life, it's plain to see the reflection of your love shining in me. The very best of me is is a collection of the memories, each one a puzzle piece. It's who I am and everything I'm gonna be. Oh, how you shine in me. Oh, how you shine in me. Oh, how you shine in me. Thank you all so much. Good night.
Well, friends, that's it for the program this week. You can see and hear Red Barn Radio worldwide as we stream live on YouTube every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern in North America. Our program is also available on the WEKU app. Check out Red Barn Radio on demand. From all of us here in Lexington, Kentucky, to all of our friends worldwide, it is our hope that you be well and that you join us next week for another great night of music on Red Barn Radio. Good night.